Okay, what up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most, and we got some breaking news coming from the worldwide leader of sports. Now, normally this news is set aside for Monday, and we call Monday Black Monday. I guess Friday's going to be the new version of Black Monday, Black Friday. But breaking news, this just came down the news wire. Particularly NBA free agency is about to go down in a couple of hours, but Jalen Rose, Max Kellerman, and Stan Van Gundy no longer work for ESPN. I will say that again. Jalen Rose, Max Kellerman, and Stan Van Gundy are no longer working at ESPN. ESPN has issued a statement, and they've been talking about this for the past couple of months. I really didn't put a lot of stock in it. I thought it was just going to be some staffers and people behind the scenes. But to hear Jalen Rose no longer working for ESPN, that was a total left hook, a total surprise to me. As well as Max Kellerman, even though I don't think Max Kellerman is in their favorite list, they meaning ESPN. Because we've been hearing reports that Max Kellerman is no longer going to be doing This Just In. They canceled that show, so he doesn't have that afternoon slot. And a couple of weeks ago, last week I talked about how the morning show with Keyshawn, Max, and Jay Will is going to cease to exist in the fall. So to hear that Jalen Rose, Max Kellerman, and Stan Van Gundy. Now, the Stan Van Gundy situation, I didn't expect this to happen, but let's just break down all three of these individuals. Jalen Rose, who's been a staple for ESPN, when he retired from basketball, even before he retired from basketball, and when he made it official, he was always working for ESPN as a sideline reporter, similar to what Draymond Green is doing for TNT Sports. He still plays for the Golden State Warriors and still works for TNT Sports. He also has his podcast. And Jalen Rose made his journalistic career, analyst career at ESPN. That's his first gig, life after basketball. Very bright individual, very highly intelligent individual. I'm just shocked that ESPN decided to pump the brakes and just let Jalen Rose go. Now, Max Kellerman, he just signed an extension not that long ago. Now, yes, earlier in the video we talked about how they canceled his This Just In show in the afternoon. Pat McAfee is going to be taking that time slide over, as well as Keyshawn, Max, and Jay Will. That's going to cease to exist this fall. But I always thought that he was going to be somewhere on ESPN as an analyst, a boxing analyst. That's where, he's highly on cue on that. Stan Van Gundy was a total surprise to me. Didn't expect it, but he normally does games for ESPN, NBA games. So all three of these individuals no longer work for ESPN. Now, what does this mean for their future? I think out of the three, Jalen Rose is going to have the biggest and the brightest future. He can go anywhere and get max money. NBC Sports will love to have Jalen Rose. CBS Sports, Fox Sports 1 would definitely love to have Jalen Rose. Do not be surprised if Fox Sports 1 comes swooping in, sign Jalen Rose to a big contract, and he's debating alongside Skip Bayless. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, don't Skip Bayless and Jalen Rose have their differences? At one point, it gotten so heated between the two that Skip Bayless refused to have Jalen Rose back on First Take when Skip Bayless was working for ESPN. Y'all got to remember, that was many moons ago. Fox Sports 1 is in a situation where they want to make a big splash, particularly with Undisputed. So it would not shock me if he's added to the list. He makes it to the Final Four. So it would not surprise me none if he goes to if Fox Sports 1 comes swooping in and picks him up. Now, Jalen Rose is multi-talented. He does his interviews. He not only interviews athletes, but he interviews actors and people in entertainment. It also would not surprise me if he goes outside of sports, sign a deal with Complex, maybe sign a deal with BET. He does have some roots with BET. Or CNN or something like that. So he's gonna, out of the three, he's going to demand the biggest money. Now, next on the agenda is Max Kellerman. I think Max Kellerman too there's a lot of, it would not surprise me none if he just goes full. I think he still has his gig with Showtime where, he's he does the analyst side of things when they have the big boxing events. So it would not surprise me if he goes full time with Showtime and have a podcast and a show sponsored by Showtime Sports. But it also would not surprise me, if you start hearing his names in talks as far as Fox Sports 1. And I'm going to tell you guys, Fox Sports 1 love these situations when ESPN lays off people that used to work for them. And that's Fox Sports 1 bread and butter. They love to purge talent away from ESPN. Remember, there's a lot of personalities that were laid off at ESPN, and they continued their careers, extended their careers with Fox Sports 1. So it would not surprise me none if Jalen Rose and Max Kellerman, you see them on Fox Sports 1. But as far as Max Kellerman goes, Showtime, CBS, CBS does some fights, NBC. I think he's going to get an opportunity. He's going to get a job, but is he going to get the bag? I think those days are behind him. I don't think he's going to get a major bag by going to another network. Now, Amazon has always tried to creep into the sports entertainment. We talked about Amazon, the possibility of Shannon Sharpe signing over there at Amazon. They don't have a lot of content, sports content or sports shows on Amazon. Nearly none, other than they just don't have a show like a First Take or Undisputed. So it would not surprise me none if Amazon, shell out the big bucks for either Max Kellerman or Jalen Rose. Now, Stan Van Gundy, I think he will have no time finding another job, but he does, his best work is doing work for NBA. It would not surprise me none if NBA Radio signs a Stan Van Gundy, if TNT signs Stan Van Gundy. So or he goes back into the college realm and do college basketball. So and work for CBS. He's going to continue to get a job. He's very good at his work. He perfects his craft. Stan Van Gundy is not going to be unemployed anytime sooner. Now, it would also not shock me nor surprise me if Stan Van Gundy just call it a career and just retire from sports entertainment and just, go out into the sunset and just enjoy the retirement life. Occasionally you'll see him on someone like on Dan Patrick's show doing, having a segment there every once in a while, or Dan Levitard, whatever. But I do think it's between the NBA network or working for TNT. So therein lies the possibilities of him going there as well. Now, as far as NBA, the NBA network, NBA TV, NBA radio, this can also remain true for Jalen Rose. but I'm gonna be honest with you, I just don't see him there. I see him on a larger and grander scale. And and out of the three, he's going to get that major bag. A lot of people are going to swoop in and try to pick him up real fast, real quick. So, this news wasn't a total shocker about ESPN laying off people, but what the total shocker is who they laid off. And I always thought Jalen Rose were solid with ESPN. They was going to figure out somehow, some way to keep him in the rotation. Max Kellerman was on the outside looking in, and Stan Van Gundy. It's obvious that they already got someone pinned that's much younger. Maybe I forgot that girl's name. Maybe she would do sideline reporting. Kendrick Perkins, JJ Redick, those are the Malik Anderson. Those are the names that you can see come in and do games every now and again. All right. So there you have it. Breaking news came a total shock to me as well as others, but it is what it is. ESPN decided to lay off. They wanted to trim the fat some. And these guys are highly talented, highly demand in heavy rotation. They're going to have jobs galore. They're not going to stay fired or let go much longer. All right. So there you have it, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you guys on the flip side of things. Deuces.